Is it, guys? I'm sorry for keep you on a cliffhanger. Y'all be asked for part two, so I'm gonna get to it. Where I left off is when I still remember having after the basically I forgot, sorry, after the showdown of Noelle and Noelle stare down after Leo declared to be Asta's rival. Asta accepts. And then here comes the evasion arc when the mage came through. Asta and Noelle already knew this already. So they already know where to go. Because Asta remember Marie. And then they said, "Where you going? You can't fly." And then kept his mouth shut because he knows he want Asta to surprise him. Asta opened the window and said, "Noelle, you coming?" She said, "Bet." And she said, "You can't even fly on the broom. How are you gonna?" And then the world summoned a water broom, and Asta go like Demon Slayer sword, and then they just start boosting. They all captains, all people who's making fun and try to fight Asta and Noelle, are shocked. The siblings are wondering how she gets so much control over magic already. Noelle want to actually investigate this early too. And he thinks he might have to visit a Wizard King and tell Julius to tell him about the Black Bulls and tell Yami to come here and explain what this happened. And after that, they all went to the the people they was going to fight in the original anime, but now all of a sudden Noelle is so very, very OP and they know what's going to happen. They are going to literally finish these guys. So, yeah. So they went there. Also, really, literally went instantly 1% of his. Actually, he went black form real quick. Say Marie, turn back, and then just look at the person. And he remembers the guy, and he said he was a good asset when he was like normal. So he better like, should I think about doing the same thing as original or no? Because I don't want to get captured again by Sally. And then he started to beat up the zombies. He doesn't really get cut at all because he can really negate magic. Actually, he does it so fast that the zombie guy never sees it, for he can report this back to Lit, aka Patri. Asta gives Marie to Noelle. Noelle already know what to do. Put her in a water bottle. She wants to help, but she knows she has to watch because Asta can literally beat all of them. Until she remembered that after Fogonian sealed the guy, Asta and Noelle remembered he fell through a portal. So he grabbed him out the way of the portal and then slashed it. And they went and slashed at the dude who made the portal, and he disappeared. And Sally came and all the guys. Asta dispatched them with Fogonian's help. He's dispatched them too. So, yeah, the people who left trying to capture Asta didn't work, and Fogonian is alive in this time because since they remembered, and Asta, and in this part, in terms, he already has a spirit unlocked that helped him, so he's pretty tired out right now. After that, the captains was sent away to Fogonian. After they catching up, they see Fogonian and Asta taking down these mages, and then they just left without Asta there. So the original people who got caught by the Wizard King did, and Asta already knows what happened at this point. After Leo said, "Asta, would you train me?" And Asta's like, actually, yeah, he said he will train him to be more fair. After Asta declared Leo his rival and asked to train him, and then he asked to come train with him too, to master his spirit. And then he remembers, and he asked Fogonian, the one with red hair, to ask for his sister for training. And he said, "How do you know about his sister?" Because Noelle told me about her. And then he called for Leo and Yuno's training, and she asked Asta why he doesn't trade too, because he already mastered a form, but he's trying to surpass that. She asks for can she see this form and Noelle's, and they applied and went. Asta went in his black form, and Noelle went in her Valkyrie dress. She was amazed by Noelle mastering her power now and having skill melt, and then she's curious Asta's power, and Asta explained this is anti-magic. It literally cancels out anything, and it can take a form, but I have a second form that I cannot master yet. So I am basically training my body to master that power. She said, bet. And she asked Asta for a spar. Asta was like, fuck. Because he remembered getting socked once in the face. So he said, bet. Since he has more better key control and better things for the future, he does black slashes. She does her zone, and then she does punches. He blocks, dodge, weaves, and then does black slashes. Then his favorite move he always loves to do, Black Hurricane. She barely caught it, and then throws him. And Asta's like wondering, should it be about time to use that weapon? And he said, nah, I'm not ready to use it yet. And then he trains, and she asks Asta, why don't you make an anti-magic zone? Asta never thought about this in the future. He never makes an anti-magic zone. Since he has anti-magic, it can go in the sky. After Asta started thinking about his anti-magic zone, he started trying to work on it. And then Noelle thought about it too, because she never had an anti-magic zone. So she started asking her for details how to do it. Since Noelle wants to learn more to get stronger, to beat Magicla early, that woman, Asta started managing to do an anti-magic zone. And then he actually copied Yami's technique. Like anti-magic moon, something like that, or like black moon from Yami, like that moon when he fought Dante for the first time. He started mastering that, and he knows how to make it expand, but he only can use it 2 times a day now, so because he really thinks it's kind of hard, but he take up the challenge. After Asta noticed was getting more good with his wind spirit, he told Yuno to come down before he can ask him something. After explaining what he can do with his spirit, agreed and started trying to merge with his spirit very early. And then he told about his future self and how he mastered a form called Burrow form. I mean, I don't know what that form, green form, is. Like, it's like a full form of him being a god, like with a spear. And he said, bad. But the first stage right now you can use is Spirit Dive, because Asta knows this and he's telling this to quietly, for no one can hear. And he can summon his sword spirit Zephyra. And you have to literally collect the mana in the air, like a lot. But will get his Spirit Dive early, but he will not learn his Spirit Zephyra very early because it takes a lot of more concentration. So Noelle, or Mana Zone, is abundantly crazy now. Her Sea Dragon's roar is more dangerous. It's like matching Merliona's punches, but more faster. Like matching those punches with like those dragons, Sea Dragon's roars. But she only uses it like 3 times a day before she's ran out. Since Asta made his anti-magic zone, got his stuff ready, and started trying to concentrate on the katana in secret for no one to know, but Noelle knows, so she don't bother it, by the way. So he does his black slashes with his sword, and he realizes it's much faster now. And then he should combine it with his uniform, because he never tried it. And then now as you think about it, he never used his uniform that more. And cutting the well, she never talked to her water spirit now. After going alone by herself, she opened Undine. Undine, I actually remember the name. Undine, she said, Noelle, where are we? And she said, we're in the past, basically. So, basically, she explained the whole situation about Asta having 2 Demon Slayers, 2 Demon Dweller swords, and there might be another you in this timeline. And she's wondering, like, oh, God. And then Noelle was asking, can she bond with her before she can master her stage mode again? She said bet, but now since like 1 hour, like 1 second I think was in the manga, and like yeah, sorry spoilers, but in the manga, she's gonna do it for like 1 hour or 1 second I guess. Now she could do it up to at least 3. So Asta and Libe is trying to master their union form again. But this time, actually this time they mastered their union form again. But Asta's wondering, should he even do this? Because that one jerk he remembers will try to cast him as being a demon. But he said, bet, I'll break through that limit. And now, since it was like 5 seconds, now it's up to 7 seconds. I mean, that was like 10 hours. No, 10 minutes. 10 minutes basically in his uniform. He could turn this off at will, but he practiced. Noelle got her level up a bit more so she can use her stage to at least 5 hours. And Asta started the Master's Key more, and like he's sensing more since he doesn't know how to utilize it. So because I don't want to make him that OP. If you guys want me to make him that OP and let him have Key, let me know in the comments. But I'm not gonna let him do that. So after the training they're doing, after doing it, finally got his spirit of Zephyr, and then he's trying to master his new form Asta told him about. It was close, but it got down to 1 second, so he could barely use it. So he tried training, and then the only one who's trying to improve more is Leo. Now Asta wondering, why does his big brother has the thing, but Leo doesn't? Now to think about it, Fugoyan should have been knocked out into the evasion. If he doesn't get the fire spirit, doesn't Leo get it? Now he's thinking. In due time. Because Asta remembered killing the fire spirit. Actually not killing, but negating it. And that's how Fugoyan got it. So he actually made Leo and then train his magic. Leo is more very, very, very OP. He knows how to make more power or attacks. And then they went, since Asta and Noelle know about this part, after training and everything, doesn't show his new powers because he's trying to keep it suppressed. Like Asta told him to keep it suppressed because he has a new form, and so is Noelle. So now Asta's thinking, and he told Noelle, here comes the part when Finny will ask me to go on that date thing. And then she said, you can't go, but you know what happens at this part. And she remembers, the kids get taken at this part. Yami kind of hears this, and then he told Noelle and Asta to come here. Oh yeah, a few days later, Noelle going to the Wizard King. Wizard King may do my protrusion, but can I ask you to ask the Black Captain Yami to come here? And Yami came with Funeral, gave him a portal, and Noelle started questioning Yami about Noelle and her new powers. Yami said at the time when we was bringing her back into the Black Bulls, her powers was out of control, and then I don't know when Asta and Noelle tried to get up, they fell down, and then they start acting kind of weird lately. And then some reason Magma noticed Noelle is very good with her magic, and then Asta made some new moves. And he said, did that commoner do something? And he said no. And then Julia said, he told Yami and Noelle everything until this point now, because he does get his memory from his future self, so he knows. So he told Noelle and everything, and Noelle's baffled that Noelle came from the future, and so is Yami. But he never told Yami about that katana yet. Now Noelle has to think what happened now. Now he's wondering what he's gonna say to Noelle. But at the point, he doesn't tell them their full powers yet. He only told Noelle about Noelle's Valkyrie dress. That's all. And then Asta's black form to Yami, and then they went back and Yami asked, "Are y'all two really from the future?" Asta and Noelle were baffled. Like, they said, "How do you know this?" Wizard King, he said, "Bet he did. But can we discuss this in private, Captain?" Yami said, "Bet." After discussing and telling them what happened literally in the future, Yami's baffled that he died in this total event. Yami died. So Yami said, so I died, and I passed on my sword to you." And then he said, said yes. And then he pulls out his sword and he's like, "So how did my sword become your anti-magic katana now?" After explaining what happened to Asta arm and everything with Libe and all that, he's baffled that Asta has a demon in his book, but it's his brother who potentially helped him. So he said, "I don't know how to use the katana like that. So I'm asking Yami, can you train me into sword combat with katanas?" Yami said yes, and he's asking Noelle, does she want a new sword too? Noelle said, "Yes, I need sword combat actually, because I have a water sword." After explaining Noelle's safe stage and all that, Yami will get intrigued, and then Yami will push his limits very, very more. Then he will be above Dante into his full form. So after training and learning Kenjutsu from Yami, Asta is like the best sword katana user ever. So is Noelle with her new sword, that she can unlock the true potential of the sword. But she keeps it under wraps because it's very, very overpowered now. After this, Finral asked Asta to go to the banquet again, and Asta like agreed. And then Noelle went to the the portal, like original, stalking Asta. Asta does remember Noelle told him she used to be a stalker for some reason, and she doesn't know why. Asta said, "Bet." He doesn't find this creepy. He just wondered why she was there at that time. Now he knows. After the banquet, after Asta could talk to Rebecca about his siblings before she could talk about her siblings, they got along. Asta saw the drunk man again, threw him out the side, and then she grabbed him. Noelle followed, and she asked that same question before. At the time, Asta didn't understood, but he said, "Yes, it's like a fellow member of the Black Bulls. She is actually my girlfriend." And she said, "Oh, you found someone great, but someday I'm not giving up." Y'all, Noelle heard this. She said, "Challenge," and Asta was like, "Damn, I did not mean to have a harem." After that, he went with the siblings, and Noelle went back to the Black Bulls, and they came back after Asta was playing with Mary. Ghosh, that dude, I don't know who made this character Ghosh, bro. I understand his reasons, but who made this character? Just try to beam out Asta. Asta remembered this key, and remember this time, smack that right back at Ghosh. Ghost dodge, and Marie does the same thing, like, "Don't mess with my future husband like that." And Asta is like, "Oh my god, I'm having a harem with a kid now?" He said, "No, she had to be at least older than this." After that, Asta remember where the kids are at this time because the snow After waking up, he remembers. Actually, he wasn't really asleep. He was waiting for this. Before any of the kids can leave, he tapped them all, and then they went in the thing, and then he went after the persons because he remembers. So is Noelle. So in this time, Ghost doesn't really have to rush out because he will find Asta gone. And then they found the Midnight Sun. I mean, not Midnight Sun. They found the dudes who's thinking the kids' magic, but the kids are not there this time. So they called the slime girl very, very early. And they start being in battle. And then they beat the slime girl. And then Lit showed up. And he said, Patri. And he said, how do you know my name? None of your business. Alright, let's get this fight over with. Because I can tell you're strong now. After Lit was sending light spears, Asta was blocking him with his katana. And Noelle was dealing with the other guy, literally overpowering him. And then his mana went up after seeing his dude get hurt. So he went up. Asta and Noelle know they can take this guy, but they don't want to go overboard. And Asta and Noelle said, screw it. If you're really strong, they come at us with full strength. After dispatching Patri with the black form and Valkyrie dress, the three mages showed up. Vato, the girl with the flaming dragon, and the other guy who can copy magic, I think. The captains would head over after Asta said, oh, Vato, so it's you again? This time I'm gonna go all out. So is Noelle, because she wants a rematch with the fire one. But she knows who this is, so they powered up into their union modes. They only have like an hour, so they only use this like an hour for a reason, because they don't want to go full out. If they go full out, they will murder them. After clashing, Veto knows Asta is heavily stronger and his mana is very disappearing. After that, after the captains almost showed up, they left and Asta and Noelle detransformed their uniforms because they could sense the captains coming. And they said, what happened here? And we felt a very, very strong mana. Those elves actually kind of looking at the well. And they said, basically, we was fighting Midnight Sun, the top three, and we actually dispatched the top mages. Because at the time, they was heavily holding back because they are extra strong. Because they know they will be assets in the future. And they know their problems with that devil that's controlling them. So they keep this to word to Yami only. Because Yami wants to keep this private for no one can figure it out. After that, the kids are still home. Asta gets a good meal. And Noelle reveals herself to be Asta's girlfriend. After Rebecca was like, oh, so you know Noelle, huh? I will not lie. I'll take the challenge with you. Even your magic, I will still take the challenge. I'm still calming them down, like they're going back and forth and stuff. And this is where I'm gonna end the episode until I remember what's the next arc. So yeah, so I love you guys, and comment more, say more likes, and I'll make a part 3 and I'll be ready. But I will do part 3 at Thursday or Friday. So see you guys. So peace and everything.